Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Football. Champions League Fantasy is back. Last season was great. I ended up finishing 700th in the world. That's in the top 1%. This time around, hoping for a bigger target. I'm targeting top 500. Hopefully we can get that. Last season, the highest ranking that I've ever gotten. So let's hope we can beat that. So the league code is scrolling down the bottom. You can also check it in the description as usual. And we can compete next season as we go through the entire campaign. Last season was the first time we had that kind of format in the Champions League. I'm looking forward to this season. Or am I? Come on. There's like 300 players to pick from, and it's always very stressful to pick from 400 players, man. I want Mbappe. I also want Salah. But what happens when Saka is back? What happens when Palmer is back? I also want these, 3, 4 defenders who always score goals. But I'm also looking at this differential that no one will have and could score 2 goals in match day one. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But hopefully, we can finalize the team sometime before the deadline hits. As of now, we're going to go through the first draft, the players that I have in the first draft. This is definitely not the final team. There's going to be changes. There's an international break going on right now, so you never know with injuries. You never know with players returning. There's a few players who are injured, and obviously you kind of finalize your plan as well as very, very late. You finalize your plan in your team very, very late in the deadline, because you also get to see some teamies and maybe make some late decisions. So let's get to it. Let's get to my team and how the team is looking right now in terms of the first draft. Let's do this, and let's start with the goalkeeper. So the goalkeepers are very, very hard to pick this season. There's 2 or 3 very good options, but if you're looking for a goalkeeper who's going to play on Tuesday, so the first match day is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so that is different from the other match days, but it's very difficult to get goalkeepers who are playing on different days that you love all the way to match day 8. There's going to be somewhere where they collide, and if you're looking for goalkeepers who are not going to collide completely, very hard to get. But even if you get 1 or 2 that are going to have 7 out of them 8 match days not colliding, it's either they're very expensive or you don't really like their fixtures, so it's tough. So at the moment, I am going to go with this one. I'm going to go with the Atalanta goalkeeper. That is Kaneseshi. That's how you pronounce his name, Kaneseshi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I've never really been talked about him previously in the Champions League fantasy, but that's who I've gone for, and I've partnered him up with Merit from Napoli. So that's the 2 Serie A goalkeepers. Those are who I'm going for, Merit and Kaneseshi. So if you look at their fixtures, very, very cheap. First of all, I usually try not to spend more than 9 million in my goalkeeper position, because when you try to spend like 10.5 million, either you go if you go like with a Sommer and a Raya, that's too expensive. Even if you add like a Neuer or a goalkeeper like that, it's too expensive. So I try to balance it out, because this will allow you to have more attacking players and more of the budget in the forward area. So as you can see here, there's going to be somewhere they're going to collide. But Atalanta so far this season, they've conceded in both games, but their fixtures are not that bad. In the first 5 games, they have Bruges at home, they have Slavia at home, they have Marseille away, they have Frankfurt away. PSG is the toughest of those fixtures. So they are playing here 17th and 30th and 22nd. And if you look at Merit, he's playing on the 18th, 1st, and 21st. So the first at least 5 match days, there's going to be 4 of them where they're playing on separate days, these 2 goalkeepers. But again, Napoli have been very good defensively this season. They've kept 2 clean sheets out of 3 in the league. Atalanta not the same. And Napoli's fixtures are not that great as well at the beginning. They have Man City away, Sporting at home, and PSV away. So here, I'm not really looking at too many clean sheets. I'm looking at save points, and hopefully in the first 5 match days, I can somehow get 3 clean sheets between the 2 of them. But that will allow you to spend only 8.5 million. Now, I could just easily go for, and just say I'm going to go for Inter Milan. Jan Sommer is going to definitely keep clean sheets, but I have to get some budget for that. And I have to try and get another goalkeeper who balances the fixtures well. And it's very tough. I've tried getting a goalkeeper who balances the fixtures well with Jan Sommer, and it's very, very tough. So unless you're happy to go with Jan Sommer, let's say for the first 5 match days before the wildcard or something, I'm happy to go with Jan Sommer, even if he plays on the same day 3 out of the 5 match days of my other goalkeeper, and just bank on Inter Milan keeping the clean sheet. That's one way I could go. But as of now, I'm the Atalanta goalkeeper and the Napoli goalkeeper. Now, as I said, Merit has been very good so far this season. He gets saves, and Napoli have been keeping clean sheets. So you're hoping that he can do something there. If not, Atalanta can surprise you as well. That would be great. Now, defensively, let's go for the defenders, and let's start with my first pick defensively, and that is Hakimi. Now, Hakimi, obviously, absolutely fantastic. Once again, he won the Champions League last season. In terms of attacking, he's absolutely incredible. Last season, he picked up 125 points. And despite PSG's fixtures being very, very difficult, Hakimi usually scores. Like games against Arsenal last season, Hakimi was scoring goals. Those big games, Hakimi was picking up assists. He took a penalty in one of those games. Like, he's absolutely incredible. He can get player of the match. He takes some set pieces as well. He's absolutely attacking. Like, even if they concede 2-3 goals, he can still get you a 7-pointer because of how good he is attacking wise. Like, if you take a look at his numbers from last season, and it's not just last season, he's been doing it from the previous season and also in the league. He got 5 assists and 4 goals, 9 attacking returns from a defender in the Champions League is crazy. That in itself that almost makes him a must own, even with his fixtures. His fixtures are very tough, but with those kind of stats, and also picking up player of the match awards twice and 8 clean sheets on top of that is a big performer, and I think is worth every single penny of that 6 million. Now, he does have Barcelona and Bayern Munich away in the first 4 match days. Barcelona away and Bayern Munich at home in the first 4 match days, but there's also Atalanta at home and Leverkusen away, who haven't been very good. They've just sacked their manager, and then even after that, they still somewhere they're going to have Newcastle at home. Newcastle score, but that is very late on in the league phase. But in the first 4 match days, you're not really looking at a clean sheet against Barcelona and Bayern. That's where you're looking now for attacking returns. Actually, from those 8 fixtures, I'd maybe see 3 PSG clean sheets, but he's very good in terms of those attacking displays. So I think is worth every single penny. So Hakimi is the first pick I've gone for. And another player who's absolutely phenomenal in terms of attacking is Denzel Dumfries. Once again this season, he's already started on fire. He's already scored for Inter Milan. He's already scored for Netherlands. Just watched the Netherlands game yesterday, and he scored once again a header from a corner kick. And his numbers, just like Hakimi, absolutely extraordinary. 3 assists, 2 goals. He had a penalty. He had 36 ball recoveries, player of the match. So basically what you're looking for Dumfries and Hakimi, and the difference between the two is Dumfries' fixtures are really good. He has Ajax away, Slavia at home, Union SG away, Carrot at home. So Denzel Dumfries, if he starts those first 5 games, he could easily get you double figures at least 3 times, because even if he gets an assist and a clean sheet, where you'd expect him to keep a clean sheet somewhere. Last season in the league phase, Denzel Dumfries and Inter Milan had 7 clean sheets out of 8 games. They only conceded 1 goal in 8 games. Now, obviously, that ended at the end of the season where they were conceding goals to PSG, but still this, and they've already kept a clean sheet in the league. You'd expect them to keep clean sheets in the Champions League. They've just signed a Kanji. You'd expect them to be more stronger in defensively. So he might not keep 7 clean sheets out of 8 games, but even if he can get you 4 clean sheets, that is enough, because Dumfries is going to get you at least 3 or 4 attacking returns during that time, and also the ball recoveries and goals from outside the box. Like, Dumfries can get you points from any single avenue. So for me, I think it's an absolutely fantastic pick, Denzel Dumfries next to Hakimi. Absolutely fantastic. You're going to get attacking returns from both of them, even if you're not getting clean sheets. But I think with Dumfries, you're going to get clean sheets. The next pick I've gone for is Real Madrid. I've gone for Dean Howson, a cheap asset. 4.5 million is what it's going to cost you. 14% owned at the moment. His fixtures are great. Marseille at home, and then Carrot away, and then Juventus at home. After that, it gets a little bit tricky with Liverpool and Man City coming up. But Real Madrid are not really the team you're looking for that many clean sheets. But for that price, to get a Real Madrid defender, having Marseille and Carrot in the first 2 games, I think is a good pick. It's a very, very good. Is he a differential as of now? Not quite. He's 14% owned. I'll do different videos on budget options, by the way, and hidden gems and all that. But Dean Howson at 4.5 million, I think that is a great pick, especially if you're not going for the goalkeeper Courtois or the other defenders. I think Howson is a great pick at 4.5 million. Now, I've also gone for Tottenham defender. At the moment, yep, you're hearing very well. I've gone for Tottenham defender, despite being an Arsenal fan. But I think in terms of their fixtures, you can't ignore their fixtures. And Pedro Porro is very attacking. Villarreal at home, Bodo Glimt away, Monaco away, Copenhagen at home. Literally, their only tough fixture there is PSG away. Now, you'd still expect teams like Monaco to score against Tottenham, but you'd also expect Tottenham to keep a couple of clinches there. And Pedro Porro, in terms of attacking ability, it can also get you at least 2 attacking returns during that league phase, if not more. So at 5 million, that is a good pick. Again, you don't have to go for Pedro Porro. You can go for Van der Ven, you can go for Romero if you prefer. But as of now, because Porro is very attacking on that right side, that is who I've gone for. The next defender I've gone for is an Arsenal defender. I think there's so many picks at Arsenal that you can go for defensively. At the moment, Saliba is injured, but you can go for Gabriel if you can get that 5.5 million. You can go for Calafiori if you can't afford the rest of the players. But Timber at 5 million is quite fantastic. This season so far has already gotten two goals already in the same game against Leeds. He's already gotten an assist as well in literally 2 games he started. He's gotten 3 attacking returns, and Arsenal obviously are very good in terms of clinches last season. 3 goals conceded in the league phase in those 8 matches. Arsenal didn't concede a goal at home at all. So Timber is a great pick. And again, Arsenal in terms of fixtures, very good. Bilbao away, Olympiacos at home, Atletico Madrid at home, Slavia Prague away. The first 4 fixtures, Atletico Madrid is the toughest there. You'd expect at least 2 clinches there. And then after that, it gets a little bit harder with Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. But again, there's Bruges and Kairat. Now, Timber probably doesn't play all of those games, especially if Ben White returns. But because Ben White is currently injured and Timber is on form, and there's no one really else who can play on that right side. Mosquera can play on that right side, but Timber is the one that is going to feature, obviously, especially in the first couple of games. So I've gone for Timber as an attacking threat from corners and also defensively. So here, I've tried to balance it out in terms of defenders who are going to get you a lot of attacking returns, and their teams have potential to get you clean sheet as well. So players like Dumfries and Timber here, they can easily get you double figures at least once in those first 2-3 opening match days. Porro can get you an attacking return. Dean Housen, not really that much, but you're hoping for a clean sheet somewhere there. Maybe a cheeky assist. And then Hakimi, his numbers are too good. His ownership is too high, I think, to ignore. So that is the difference that I have right now. Things might change. I might wait to see, whether Saliba is going to recover. Can I get enough money to get Saliba in the team? All that. I'll see midfield-wise, one player that you don't even need to talk about that I think has to be in your team is Lamine Yamal. Absolutely incredible already so far this season. He scored or assisted in every single game so far. On top of that, in pre-season, he also had 5 attacking returns. He already got an assist for Spain as well. He took the penalty when Lewandowski wasn't on the pitch against Rayo Vallecano. He's always playing 90 minutes. I think Lamine Yamal is a player that you cannot ignore. And his ownership by the time the game starts is going to be like on 60%. So last season, I ignored that. I went without Lamine Yamal. I went with Rafinha, and Rafinha broke the record in terms of attacking returns in one Champions League season. And Yamal, the 2-3 times I had him, he only delivered in once. Now, Rafinha is an explosive asset. I've never really seen Yamal as an explosive asset. Rafinha can get you 3 goals and assists in a game, but Yamal cannot get you 3 goals and assists in one game. But so far this season, we've been seeing him getting goal and assist here, 2 assists here. So still a very good option. And in terms of his ownership, I think it's going to be up to 60%. So I think you're going to have him. 10 million, I think, is worth that kind of money. Now, Barcelona's fixtures at the beginning are not that easy. They do have Newcastle and PSG, but after that, it's Olympiacos, Bruges. They also have Frankfurt, Slavia Prague, Copenhagen. So, I mean, if he plays all these eight of these games, you're looking at least, I'd say, 10 attacking returns, maybe 5 goals, 5 assists, maybe more assists than goals, but he's definitely going to deliver there. And again, there's going to be weeks here you're going to play your Limitless. There's going to be weeks here you're going to play your wildcard chip as well. Maybe don't have to have Lamine Yamal there, but for the start, even though those games against PSG, it's not going to be a 0-0. It's probably going to be like a 3-3. So you expect the PSG assets to score and the Barcelona assets to score. So that is what I have as of now with Lamine Yamal. I've also gone for Vitinha, an incredible season last year. He takes the penalties. In terms of ball recoveries, his numbers are very high as well. 7 clean sheets points last season, 2 assists, 2 goals, 66 ball recoveries. He got to play out the match 3 times as well. PSG went all the way to the final and won it. The fixtures are not that easy again, but if a penalty can come in any game, and Vitinho the ball recoveries even against the Barcelona, it can get you at least 5 points in that kind of game. So I think Vitinho is a good option. Doesn't have to be him. It can be Joan Neves' teammate. You can just completely look at a different team. You can go for Declan Rice at Arsenal. You can go for Bacola if he's starting, more attacking option. You can even double up on Barcelona if you prefer. If you have the money, Rafinha and Yamal, you can go for it. The next option I've gone for is Mohamed Salah. Why is he Mohamed Salah? Salah, I think players like Salah are very fixture proof. Now, there's going to be tough fixtures, but Salah can obviously score against Atletico Madrid. He can obviously score against Galatasaray. He can obviously score against Real Madrid. So all those fixtures, Salah can score. And the Inter Milans and the Real Madrids and the Marseilles are where those come later. So these first 3 games, not the easiest, but Salah will always be Salah. Now, if you don't go for Salah, you can go for VAT and save 1.5 million and use it elsewhere, or you can just save, all that completely, maybe go for Liverpool defender and ignore the attack, or go for Gakpo up front and then use that money elsewhere, because there's still a lot of midfielders to choose from. So Mohamed Salah already this season scored in the first game, always delivering, assisted in the second game. Even if he doesn't play well, he still ends up getting an attacking return. So that is Mohamed Salah. And whenever Liverpool keep a clean sheet, is going to get you an extra clean sheet point. Now, this is where you have to go a bit differential, or budget, because we've gone for Yamal, Hakimi, Dumfries, Salah. All these guys are very expensive. So I've gone for Reinders from Man City. Again, depends. I don't really like Man City's form at the moment, but we'll see the moment to get closer. Napoli, Monaco, Villarreal, and Dortmund to start the season. For Reinders, is going to get forward a lot, like we saw against Wolves. Now, he's not going to play Wolves every single day, but in the Champions League, when teams open up, you'd expect Reinders to get a couple of attacking returns. So that is who I've gone for. Man City don't really have too many options at the moment. Players like Foden are injured. There's too much rotation with players like Doku and Bernardo Silva and Savinho. So it's either you go for Haaland, or you go for Reinders, or you just go for, if you just ignore them, however you want to look at it. They're playing the Italian champions, the first game against Napoli, who haven't conceded a goal so far this season. So Reinders, in terms of ball recoveries as well, last season he was at AC Milan. He had 34 ball recoveries. He had 1 clean sheet, 3 goals scored. Those are very good numbers for Reinders, and AC Milan went out quite early as well. The last midfield I've gone for is a budget option from Monaco, that is Akilush. He's just been picked by France as well. Currently owned by 5%. He's only going to cost you 5 million. Now, this season, there's quite a few differential options and budget options in the forward areas, in the midfield areas. Those videos will be available after this. So 5 million, I think that will save you a lot of money. Now, this leaves me 26 million to use in the forward line, and there I can go for a lot of different options. This is why it becomes so hard to choose. When you start talking about the strikers, it becomes so hard to choose. There's Kane who's on form. There's Mbappe, looking at his fixtures and like, okay, of course, as an Arsenal fan, I'm going to look at Yorkers and say, okay, Olympiacos and Bilbao, can he score? Should I ignore him? Joao Pedro at Chelsea, could he be an option? Could you go for a Gakpo? Maybe an Alexander Isak is now at Liverpool. If he starts firing, does Mamouche start those games for Man City? Should we go for him in one of those positions? Like, there's so many options. But I think as of now, I have gone for Kylian Mbappe for sure, because of those fixtures and because of his ownership as well. The fixtures are too good. He has Kairat in the second match day and Marseille in the first match day. I'm watching him playing right now for France, and he's always a threat, but he's going to take a lot of your budget. 10.5. Last season was not great for Real Madrid in the Champions League. He had 7 goals, 2 assists, but that is a bad season for Mbappe. So that is pretty good. If that is a bad season for Mbappe, then we are definitely talking. He's going to take some penalties as well. Sometimes he's going to mix it up with Vinicius. But Mbappe is the first pick. I've also gone for Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, not many people are picking him, so somehow he is a differential. And for those 2-3 first fixtures, I think Haaland is going to get a couple of goals. Now, this might change. I think Mbappe is definitely going to be in my team, but Haaland, I'm going to wait and see how Kane is going to perform, how Yoko is going to perform right before those Champions League weeks. So that's where I'll decide whether I go for Haaland. So only 5 million remaining, and this is where you need a differential, and I've gone for Sporting's Luis Suarez. So far this season, is already delivered goals and assists. I think it's 2 goals, 2 assists already in the 4 matches for for Sporting, and their first fixture is absolutely brilliant. Even if you just have him for one fixture, the differential, and you want to change him later after that, he has Kairat at home making their Champions League debut. Napoli away is not easy, but after that it's Marseille at home, and then you don't have to have him for Juventus and Bayern and PSG at that point. Maybe you've played your wild card or you've moved him on, and here with this team, I have zero remaining in the bank. So with this team, I can downgrade a few players. I can move Timber to Calafiori, save 0.5 million there. I can decide and think, maybe Vitinha is too expensive. Let me go for a 6 million midfielder. I can downgrade Vitinha to a differential for 1 week, 2 weeks. There's a few from Olympiacos who have a good fixture in match day one. I can even go for a Bodo Glimt player. I followed them. I played the fantasy from Norway, so I can go for a differential from there as well. I can, if you downgrade Salah to like a 7 million midfielder, all of a sudden you have like almost 4 million to use to upgrade all the other positions. You can upgrade Suarez to, a Harry Kane if you remove Salah there, and then you get some other money from elsewhere. Goalkeeper, you can upgrade as well. If you remove a Salah, you can go for a Sommer in goal, or you can go for, a Ryan goal. There's a lot of flexibility there. With this team, captain options would probably be Mbappe on match day, on the first match day on Tuesday, and then the second day it'd probably be someone like a Dumfries, and then the third day I'd go for Suarez against Kairat. So that is how the first draft is looking like. I've tried to balance it out. There's a couple of players from Man City, one player from Arsenal, a couple of players from PSG, one from Barcelona, one from Real Madrid, one from Napoli, one from Atalanta, one from Tottenham, Real Madrid, 2 players. So I've tried to balance it out. There's a Liverpool player there as well. But as you can see, there's a lot of players that you're missing. I'm looking at Olise. I'm looking at Gyökeres. I'm looking at Harry Kane. I'm also looking at Nuno Mendes, also very attacking, just like Hakimi. Calafiori, if Gabriel is fit to start goalkeeper wise. I'm looking at Sommer and Raya, maybe a defensive double up on Inter Milan, because Inter Milan have Ajax, Slavia Prague, Union SG, and Kairat in the first 4 match days. Could Lautaro Martinez be an option up front, because they're probably going to score goals in those games? Very, very tough. So it's always fun making these drafts, but it's always very headache as well. You always get a headache because there's so many options to pick from. So that's the first draft. Many more videos coming up. By the time you watch this, maybe there'll be a video linked up at the end. There's budget option video coming up. There's differential options video coming up as well. Remember to join the league. That is the code on screen. You can also find it in the description. As of now, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, support the channel. I'll really appreciate it, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.